badonkadonks.
There you go.
This podcast now moved into the PG-13 range. Hey, I'm OK Kenedi. I'm an indie artist and songwriter from Atlanta, but I was not allowed to listen to secular music growing up. So, in an effort to save me and my reputation, these are my friends Rachel and Sarah. And on this podcast, we talk about bands and artists I should know, but probably don't.
Queen. When you hear that word, what do you think? The band or the Queen of England?
The Queen of England, definitely.
I most definitely think the Queen of England. However, today we're talking about Queen. So have you heard of Queen, the band?
Okay, let me answer this in a weird way. It's hard to not know Bohemian Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that song. It's everywhere. It's part of American culture at this point. So I was familiar with that song, but I did not really put the two together that it was Queen until I started actually listening to secular music and made the correlation that was Queen. And then here's just a little insight into what it's like to have not been allowed to listen to all these people growing up and then try to learn them now. I always get Queen and Prince mixed up, and I think it's just the name. I think one of them was Queen and one of them was Prince. And I was like, I know it was one of the royal people.
They're both
Who
royal.
was it?
Yeah.
Was it Queen or Prince? And so for me, it's always, I can never remember if it was Queen or Prince.
Gotcha.
But now that I've studied,
You know the difference.
I know that it's Queen. Maybe I won't make that mistake as many times now.
There you go. Growing up, I didn't listen to a lot of rock music or anything. So I think really the only songs that I knew by Queen would be Bohemian Rhapsody. Mm-hmm. And I think that was because I was in show choir. And that's song,
probably where I heard it all the time. Too.
Yeah, that song was in all of our choir performances, I feel like. And the other one is We Will Rock You. And that was only because my little brother loved that song.
I didn't know. I heard that song growing up in Cumming, Georgia at the Cumming Rodeo.
Yeah, they do it. They do the whole stomping thing.
Yeah.
They'll just start stomping and then it'll just be like, we will be, and they just start doing it.
Let me just, for you guys, let me give you context into this. We live in Cumming, Georgia, and there is a Cumming Fairgrounds, and every September the rodeo comes into town, and we go, if you want. My mom's a huge rodeo fan, so I grew up going with her, and there will come a time during the night when a cowboy is riding a bull, and they're like, get as loud as you can to pump this cowboy up, and they start playing We Will Rock You, and everyone in the stands starts.
Yep.
That's what happens. So
I'm too comfortable to join y'all, but it's okay. Yeah.
You let the cowboy down.
Oh well. Queen themselves, okay, so they're a band, was actually formed with it was actually two people. They had started a band called Smile, and those two people are Brian May and Roger Taylor. And they were in that band Smile, and then Freddie Mercury joined. And Freddie Mercury ended up being the whole big lead of Queen. And that really is who whenever I picture the band Queen, I think Freddie Mercury. And there's a lot about him. He actually... his real name, we're not going to butcher it. We're just going to slide it at the bottom right here. So go ahead, Michaela and her editing skills. So that's his real name. Read it on the screen. And is actually lived and was born in a little state that is now part of Tanzania.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then his dad worked in the British government, and when they turned 18, once Tanzania gained that country or state as a part of their country, they went to England. And then he actually studied graphic design, got his degree.
He was an art student, yeah.
Yeah, and he was an art student and graduated in 1969 from what is now known as the University of West London.
Yeah, I knew, when I was researching them, I'd seen, they are very contrary to the whole, we don't go to school, we just do rock and roll thing.
Yeah.
They all have, really smart people degrees.
Yes.
But I didn't see about Freddie Mercury. So
yeah. Their guitarist, Brian May, also went a different route and obtained his PhD in astrophysics.
Yeah, I saw that. He's helped NASA.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Super smart people.
He that is just crazy. So I mean, these
and
they
don't
know what
forget,
they're doing.
John Deacon, their bass player, he's trained electronics engineer.
Yes.
And most of Queen's equipment was actually built by him.
Yes.
And today he still has an invention I think you pronounce it DC amp, DEACY amp, and you can go online and buy them today.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
they are like up there in intelligence. Like they are super smart. Love it.
I think that's why their music was so intricately composed,
Probably.
because
Yeah.
they were so smart.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, they are brilliant, musically and like
Intellectually.
intellectually. That's what I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Freddie Mercury was just like, he was so creative. He actually, you know, that logo
He
you've seen
made
there,
it.
like, yeah, he made it, and it's all based off of zodiac signs. And I think it was just really cool. He's like super creative.
It's the zodiac signs of everyone in the band,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't believe in astrology. He just used it as inspiration
it.
for
It's
their logo.
so cool. That's really cool. So, like, what we got for music, Sarah?
Well, they released, like, after they went under the name Queen in 1970, they released their first album, which was like, okay, it was good enough to get them signed to a record label. And then in 1973, they started going on tour, opening up for people around like Europe and stuff like that, because that's where they all were. They didn't quite make it to the US until 1974, when they did, like, they actually started headlining. So they headlined in Europe, and then they came to headline in America. And after the release of their second album, Queen 2, they were in the US for a while, but had to cut their tour short because Brian actually got sick, and so they had to cut it. And then they came back in November of 1974 and like kind of made themselves like known in America. And then a few months later, the third album, Sheer Heart Attack, came out, and that's got song like Killer Queen is probably the biggest song off of that album, and that charted, and I guess that made them more popular. And then they're still kind of touring, but not like really. They're just really getting started and like getting their feet wet. And then in 1975, A Night at the Opera, which was the most expensive album ever recorded to that day, came out. And that is what Bohemian Rhapsody is on. And that solidified them into music
So
history.
1975 was the big year for them.
Yes. It's an absolute masterpiece, to be honest with you. No band had ever pulled that off before, and no other band could have pulled that off except for Queen. It's got like 4 parts in it. It's insane. It genre bends itself within 6 minutes, and it's an absolute masterpiece. No one can deny that. I swear I will fight anybody that says that Bohemian Rhapsody isn't a masterpiece.
Everyone, watch out for Sarah.
It charted at number 1 on the UK's Billboard charts for 9 weeks. That was a record. And then it made their first chart in the top 10 in America. They charted at number 9, which I think was kind of ridiculous. But
What's wrong with you, America?
I know. They didn't accept, because they were an English band. I feel like America, especially in the 70s, was kind of like opposed to
Down with the
British
crown.
rock and roll.
Down with the crown.
Yeah. down.
Can I coin that?
Down with the crown.
Oh my gosh.
But so after Bohemian Rhapsody, after A Night at the Opera, there is an iconic Queen song on like every album up until like 1984, really. So you have in 1976, A Day at the Races, which has Somebody to Love on it. That's another incredibly iconic song. 1977, We Will Rock You is on News Around the World, or News of the World, sorry. And We Are the Champions, which everyone knows the stomps in We Will Rock You.
Yes.
Stomp, stomp, clap. I've seen children do that.
Yep.
Children.
Yeah, my brother didn't know the name of that song and he used to ask my mom, "Hey, mama, can you play Big Disgrace?" Because of the whole line, "Big Disgrace." Like,
Yeah.
didn't know it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, and like We Are the Champions has been in so many films. So many, like, people sing that when they're crossing a finish line.
Mhm.
Or like it's an iconic song.
With this.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are the champions, my
My
friends.
friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's not another song been done like that. And then in
Ain't another song been done like that. Down with the crown.
Down with the crown. Except when it comes to Queen. And then in 1978, you have Jazz, the album, and that's got Don't Stop Me Now and Fat Bottom Girls. And Fat Bottom Girls
Go ahead.
One
Sarah.
time they brought out like basically nude women on stage for Fat Bottom Girl, like badonkadonk women
But
on stage for that.
Why you gotta grab the microphone when you say
because I mean it. Okay. And that they were super controversial already because Freddie Mercury was queer and all of this other kind of stuff. Like they were British rockers. No, the world has never seen them before. And then they're bringing out like naked women on stage.
With what again, Sarah?
Badonkadonks.
There you go.
this podcast now moved into the PG-13 range?
Yeah.
And then in 1980, you have The Game, which has Another One Bites the Dust. And Michael Jackson actually had to convince Freddie Mercury to put that song out because they weren't going to do it. And that is coined to actually be the most famous Queen song.
Is it?
Wow.
More than Bohemian Rhapsody?
That's what I read.
Huh.
But I don't.
Don't.
Here's a fun fact about me. I worked at the YMCA.
Okay.
I literally hated my time there.
Yes.
But I had to go through CPR training, and that is the song we practiced the pulses to.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You keep someone alive with Another One Bites the Dust.
That's actually not their bass player that wrote that. That was a funk bass player.
Well,
that
I was
wrote
just
that.
saying, this keeps someone alive.
Oh, yeah, no, that was just another fun fact. Anyways.
Sorry.
In that same year, they recorded a soundtrack for a
soundtrack.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Please
make fun
excuse.
didn't mean to make fun of your lisp on a podcast.
Please excuse my speech impediment. In that same year, they composed a soundtrack for Flash Gordon in the same year, like in 1988. Okay. I didn't know that.
What is Flash Gordon?
A movie.
Oh. Okay. I'll have to watch
Which
it.
I'm
'cause I don't know
assuming
what
is
it
about the Flash, the superhero.
No.
But I don't know.
Nope.
That's just a huge assumption. And I could probably be absolutely wrong.
It
And
definitely,
I probably am.
it is
don't
an
come at me for
assumption,
that
and it is
because-
wrong.
Okay, I was wrong. And I'm emotionally mature enough to admit that. And then in 1981, you have Hot Space, which has the iconic Under Pressure with David Bowie on it.
Do you know that was a happy accident?
Really?
I read that too.
He was just
Yeah.
it wasn't planned that David Bowie was going to be there. He just happened to be in the studio the same time they were recording that.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Were they just like buddies? And they're
No, it's like why like they just were shooting the breeze and like why don't you come in here and try?
I'm pretty sure
Something
that
else?
was
Wow.
like the first time they met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I believe they wrote that song.
I
Wow.
absolutely
And now it's
love that.
Under pressure.
Dum 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 dum.
Yep.
Which was sampled for Ice Ice Baby.
Yep. It was.
But it actually takes 2 seconds, like a full 2 seconds, for them to be different. Like to differentiate which one's Under Pressure and which one's Ice Ice Baby. Anyways, okay. In
Random drum facts by Sarah.
in 1984, you have The Works, which has Radio Gaga, and I Want to Break Free, which is literally the most controversial music video to date because it's all of them cross-dressing, and it was actually banned in America.
What's wrong with you, America?
Again,
Oh, the music
America.
video?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
banned
yeah.
on MTV in
I read
America.
Down
that
with the
too.
crown.
Down with the crowd. America was really hating on Queen for being progressive and just controversial.
Raunchy.
Something different. And then in 1985, you have the Live Aid concert, which was considered one of the greatest performances ever. And they only had a 20-minute set, which was crazy to me. And it was broadcasted live, and it had 1.9 million viewers collectively.
Wow.
And that's like, and then after that, they continued to release like 3 more albums until the unfortunate Freddie Mercury death in 1991, and inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2001, which is really sad because Freddie Mercury never knew that he was gonna be that big, like big enough to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Dang.
Yet he was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
he
was.
will always be from
Mhm.
now on.
Mhm.
I got some fun facts.
Go ahead. Which
I'm the fun facts guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So Fun fact about Freddie Mercury, he required all of his assistants to carry a pen and paper in case he had an idea and needed to write it down.
I heard that. I also heard that he took a piano in the bathtub
Yes.
to make a song.
Yeah. So he laid in the bathtub and could write.
Yep. Isn't that weird? Oh.
He actually like composed a whole song in there. I can't remember the name of it. I thought that was crazy. He's quirky for sure.
Oh yeah.
He is.
100%.
On Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury played the same century-old Bechstein. I hope that I said that right. It's Bechstein grand piano. Maybe we could put a picture in there or something. That Paul McCartney used when the Beatles recorded "Hey Jude."
No freaking way.
Same piano on Bohemian Rhapsody is the same piano in "Hey Jude."
Wow.
No way.
Yeah,
That is so interesting.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to them both to see if I can hear.
So it's
I
like
can hear it.
2 huge iconic songs, same piano.
Wow.
What are the
That's
odds?
really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This was fascinating to me. Okay, a team of scientists decided to study Freddie Mercury's voice in 2016 because you said that you think he's one of the greatest voices ever.
I think so. Yeah.
So, a group of scientists actually studied his voice in 2016 and found that his vocal cords moved at a faster than average rate. While a typical vibrato will fluctuate between 5.4 and 6.9 hertz, Mercury's voice was at 7.04 hertz.
Wow.
So scientifically, he was fluctuating above average than anybody else. So he's basically a superhero.
Wow.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
New Marvel character, right?
Yeah.
We should call him just Mercury. Mercury. That'd be a great superhero name.
That would be a really good.
He had a 4-octave range, and like they wanted
Crazy.
him. Yeah, they wanted him to get surgery for his overbite, but he didn't want to because he didn't want to mess with his range.
Yeah, he thought it would.
He
really
thought it would
fit.
hurt his voice somehow.
If you have a superpower, you can't mess with that.
No, you just gotta
Exactly.
leave it
With
like it
great
is.
power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Very
What-
true.
Spider-Man, who's my favorite superhero. Anyways, this is crazy. Queen spent 26 years in the UK album charts, more than any artist to date. Consecutively,
Wow.
26 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's some hot stuff. Okay. And then this was just weird. Freddie Mercury was a cat guy, and he
Yeah.
used to call home to talk to his cats while he was on tour. And then he had paintings of them made.
He could have been doing a lot of cocaine, but
Was he?
instead he was calling his cat.
He-
He could have been.
Probably. I
He
think he was
probably
doing
was
both,
doing some
Sarah.
cocaine.
I think
Actually,
I
maybe
think
he was
maybe
doing
he was
both.
taking cocaine and then calling his cats.
never mind. He probably
so that
was
way
doing
his
some
cats
cocaine.
could talk back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm walking away from this one with Freddie Mercury was a superhero.
So then that means you could be a superhero.
Absolutely.
You are already a superhero in my eyes.
I used to love Spider-Man so much as a little kid that I used to go in the yard and find spiders and let them bite me.
There you go, ladies and
I did.
gentlemen.
That's intense.
And then I realized they needed to be radioactive, so I used to catch spiders and put them in the microwave. It would mostly kill them. I've been bitten by a lot of spiders. I'm waiting for the day that I wake up with spider powers.
And that's why natural selection is a proven fact.
There you go.
I'll take it as a compliment.
I think one thing you need to take away from Freddie Mercury, if you take away nothing else, the way that he was able to captivate millions of people at once. His captivating performance is insane. Like, his stage presence is insane. I think everyone should study the way that Freddie Mercury portrayed himself, how confident he was, how real he was.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
You know, he's like super known for the bottomless microphone stand thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an accident. That microphone stand, when he first did it, it broke on stage and he just decided to roll with it. And then everyone was like, that was a really good prop for you. So he just started doing it on purpose. But it started as an accident. His mic stand just broke. It's another fun
Yeah.
fact.
I don't really think there's really anything for you to take from Queen. I think there's something for me to take away from Queen.
Oh, okay.
It's that
In the turn of events.
I know, really.
Yeah.
I think I need to start carrying a notepad and a pen for you.
I think I have this now.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that'll just like sense it a little, like give you like some more connection with Queen and like Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
So I think I'll go buy one today, so
Thank
that
you.
way you'll have it,
He'd be like, Rachel, I have an idea.
and then I'll
You'll
just
come over.
here, take it, go.
Amazing. Thank you for the support.
You're welcome, always.
And thank you for watching.